So if people think RBN is mean, they think we are mean. But how many times we went after you, Misty? How many issues have you got so wrong? They be like, God damn, Misty, what the fuck is that?
I don't think you've ever gone after me that I know of.
It never had, and not because I'm
You're welcome to.
I never had to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not calling you. I never had to do it.
Listen, I get shit wrong all the time. Like, that's okay. Again, like, I don't, and I'm not running for president, obviously. I'm just some chick in Ohio with a radio show. But yeah, like, I don't, if I do get something wrong, I welcome that. If you come at me like a reasonable human being and you're not an absolute asshole, because I just like when people come at you in a certain way, I just immediately, I think it's just based on my Twitter experience. Like, as soon as you come at me with a certain attitude, I just immediately tune you out. Like, I'm done. You know what I mean? But if you come at me in a reasonable way and you present me with information, I'm always willing to accept that information and reevaluate my position. So yeah, like, you're welcome to come at me if I'm wrong. But I mean,
what I mean, like, for another example, not just you, but Mark Kimberly, John. How many times have we have to come after these people? We don't have to. And of course, we don't agree on everything. Do you think we agree on everything? But to me, there are very certain things that are important to get right. And this is what I'm talking. Like, for example, praising Nazis like Alexei Navalny is something that I would never expect Misty to do.
That's not gonna happen.
It's something I would never expect Margaret Kimberly to do.
No.
Fighting with Nazis and getting Ukraine wrong is something that Misty and Margaret Kimberly and Rome would never do. This is the expectation I put on people who want to be in leadership. And you notice none of these people try to be in leadership.
Yeah.
So it's not unrealistic and not petty of me to expect Dr. Cornel West to be at least at the level of Misty Winston and Mark Kimberly in Rome. How the fuck are you getting all these issues wrong? Not just this one, it's all of them. It is not unreasonable for me to have this expectation of intellectual curiosity out of people who want to have a platform and people who want to be in leadership. I told you guys, I take this very seriously. I look at old streams of me like 2 years ago and I cringe.
Yeah.
I try to get better every day. I try to learn every day. I take this very, very fucking seriously, guys. Every criticism I think is good faith fucking eats at me for the rest of the damn day, guys. You guys fucking hurt my feelings sometimes. But
dude, there's shit that people said to me 4 years ago that I still like bounces around in my head every once in a while. I'll be like, fuck, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a great sign. I think that means if you care. I think there's a lot of people who do independent media who do not care. They don't care what they're putting out there. And I don't take myself seriously. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, I do not take myself seriously, but I take like the information I'm passing along fairly seriously. And I think that we should, but also you mentioned, you know, that it's because I think it's an important distinction. As you said, you don't always agree with Margaret Kimberly, for example, on everything. And I think there's a very big difference between disagreeing with somebody and them just being like just flat out wrong, just getting it flat out wrong. And I think that's an important distinction to make, because I have disagreements. I disagree with myself all the time. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm constantly evolving and changing and learning new things. And I'll be like, shit, I got that wrong. And I got to change my position. So I don't even agree with myself 100% of the time. But I think that and again, this one's so fucking easy. Look at this tweet. Cornel West did not just praise Alexei Navalny. He lumped him in with Mumia and Leonard Peltier. Are you joking, Dr. West?
Was
like what kind of drugs is he on? Legitimately, seriously.
Like, this is so.
What is this? Oh, like, it's gross.
Yeah, see, man. Like, me and Cornel West, we mutual. Look at the top right here. I'm friends with Cornel West. I had him on multiple times. This shit is sad. It's sad. And he is getting his ass handed to him, and he deserves it. And this is kind of shit that repulses everyone. This brown-nosing bullshit. Like, this is you, Dr. Cornel West, being weak on white supremacy. What you accuse other people of being. You're being weak on Nazism in order to fit in with your bourgeoisie social club. And RBN and workers like me who don't give a fuck about being in that club, it offends me to see that you don't care about the truth. So you rather be a part of this social club. You rather have liberals approve of you. So you spread bullshit. You spit in our faces. You bullshit us so you can fit in with people that we don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
This is class war, motherfucker. You don't understand the assignment.
No, he does not.
You clearly don't understand the assignment. If you don't read, I'm reading now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm assuming everyone's seeing this. So here's the tweet. I'm going to try not to throw the fuck up. Here's Cornel West. My prayers are with the precious family of the courageous Russian political prisoner, the courageous late Alexei Navalny. Feel free to interrupt Misty anytime. I'm not going to get mad. Just as I pray for my dear brothers, Mumia, Leonard Peltier. Oh my God. This is what really pissed me off. Like, it'd be one thing you just said I'll tweet, it'd still be cringe, but this is the part. You're gonna compare this traitorous scum who sold out his people to the CIA to the people who was the enemies of the CIA in a deep state? What the fuck is wrong with you?
And again, an actual white supremacist. An actual white supremacist, like a legitimate, this guy. I mean, if you want, we could pull up the videos of him talking about Arabs and Muslims, calling them cockroaches. We could pull up all of those videos. There's plenty of them. This is an actual racist, white supremacist piece of shit Nazi. And Cornel West was throwing a fit about how he cares so much about white supremacy, and that's like his biggest issue. And really, because it doesn't look like it.
He called Jimmy a Trumper. You like Trump, don't you? You like fucking Alexei Navalny, apparently.
Cornel West is a Trumper. He's a white supremacist, apparently.
Brain worms.
Yes.
Like, this is the lack of intellectual curiosity and anti-intellectualism that fucking pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to be a scholar, bro. Like, you got
no
the degrees, fam. You the doctor, fam. How we know more than you on this?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. I don't
There's
believe
people in the chat, and I'm not yelling at the people in the chat. There's people in the chat saying, well, I don't think he made this. It was probably some intern or some, I don't give a fuck. It's his campaign. It's his Twitter page. He is responsible for the things that are put out on it. And he's had plenty of time. He's had plenty of time to delete it. He's had plenty of time to delete it. Hasn't done that yet.
Bro, this is one of the few times that you throw a staff member under the bus.
Right?
If that is true. I am not a big fan of that, but if there's ever a time to throw a staff member under the bus, if that is true, only if that is true, now is the time. If that is the case, then you better say so. Hey, Dr. Cornel West, blink a few times if you're being held captive. Tell me if you're not saying stuff. Tell me if you're not in control of your social media. And if that is the case, then we will forgive you. But look at this ratio. Twitter's not forgiving them. That is a brutal ratio. I ratioed them pretty brutally. This is Combate. I love his Twitter account. Their Twitter. I don't know their gender. Brother Navalny saw brother Muslims as brother cockroaches.
But go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, brother. I have, and me and RBN said it, and people like Dr. Cornel West pretend they believe this. When they say, I have no tolerance for white supremacy.
Really?
Do you? Because I feel like I do. I feel
like this is tolerance. I feel like this is tolerance of white supremacy right here. I mean, it would have been one thing. Again, you can comment on Alexei Navalny's death and the plight of political prisoners. You can do all of those things without ever once uttering a word of praise for this man. And I use the term man very loosely here because I don't think it applies, but for the sake of just keeping it simple, Alexei Navalny is an unbelievable scumbag. And to ever call him brave, courageous, any of those things no, I have zero patience or time for that. It is unfucking acceptable. Unacceptable. This is not the first red flag on Cornel West, y'all. I've been calling Cornel West out for a very long time, and again, people have been shitting on me for doing it, and I just want to say, I told you so. Again, my BS detector is pretty fine too. Not saying it's perfect, or not saying I mean there's times where I've gotten it wrong, but Cornel West has always struck me as a little bit off for some reason, and this is not the first fucking red flag here. This one's a big one, though. This is a big ass red flag.
This is the sentiment of a lot of people. You lost my vote. You elevated Navalny, a neo-Nazi who served CIA to start a color revolution in Russia, to the status of courageous political prisoner. It means if elected, you will fund the CIA with our tax money to launch more proxy wars and coups around the world, to destroy more countries and have more innocent people killed. No, that is not a president I want to have. I have no tolerance for the CIA. And unlike what many black liberals say when they say they don't have no tolerance for white supremacists, they really do. One thing that was very confidence shattering. And I don't believe in canceling people, guys. That's why I want to have Cornel West on. I want to talk to him. Still friends with them. But him supporting Joe Biden in 2020. And Dr. Cornel has always been Libby, but guys, he supported Joe Stein in 2016. He admitted he was wrong about Obama. That's fair when you voted for him, and he waged a war against Obama. So I'm like, despite all of Dr. Cornel West's flaws, at least he's still not supporting the enemy. Like, he voted for Stein in 16, did the same mistake I did with Obama, whatever. Now, for you to vote for Brother Biden, who destroyed our community, bro, you understand how patient I am being with you? The fact I'm even having you on my show and being nice to you, I am being very patient. I know a lot of people in Dr. Cornel West camp is furious with me. I don't need to talk about it, but they furious with me, fam. But fam, do you know how patient I have been with you guys? Where you've been getting things wrong over and over again?
And I've been patient. And Russiagate, COVID, Biden, all of it. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. And then now we're raising... No, it's Russia. He fell for Russiagate. He fell for the COVID bullshit. He, as you said, supported Brother Biden. He calls Biden Brother Biden. The idea that he's calling Biden Brother Biden and pretending that Donald Trump is somehow some existential evil that's different than Biden is just ridiculous. It is absolutely absurd. That is just not the case. And in fact, I'd say that there is a very good argument to be made that Biden is far worse than Trump. I mean, just look around you. How many wars are we currently in? We're facing World War III at this point. The economy's in the toilet, education's I mean, seriously, not to say that things are great under Trump, but I think that if you just look at comparatively, I think there's a pretty good argument. Not to mention the fact that Joe Biden has a 50-year history of being in a position of power, making horrible decisions, destroying people's lives. Donald Trump was a businessman and a reality TV star. The comparison isn't even there. But Nick, when you were just, I think if you scroll down a little bit, there's the WikiLeaks release. I saw it right before you scroll. You just shifted there, but there's, there's
this one right here.
Yes. Yeah, there's a WikiLeaks release that, again, thanks, Julian. Thank you, Julian. Who, by the way, Cornel West didn't mention in his tweet praising Alexei Navalny, and Bernie Sanders still hasn't even mentioned Julian Assange's name out loud. But he's got all the praise in the world for a Nazi. It's fine.
Yeah, his anti-China takes.
Yes,
his anti-communist takes. Guys, do you understand? For all the Cornel West people, all the people who still worship politicians and believe in hero worship, who've been upset at RBN coverage recently, do you guys understand how much grace I have given this man? Do you guys have any other idea?
Far more than I have.
Way more than most people, because I told you guys, I don't believe in cancel culture. I allow people to grow, bro. I give people chances. But if you're willing to engage with me in dialogue, the people that we toast on RBN are the people who don't engage with us in dialogue at all. You know what I mean? If you engage with us in dialogue, I'm not going to cancel you. I'm going to try to walk you along the path and try and correct you. We had Dr. Cornel West. I had him on a number of 4 times. And I explained to him multiple shows why it's unacceptable for you to call Joe Biden the lesser evil with Donald Trump.
Yes.
And then he proceeded to go on Jimmy Dore show, multiple large audiences, after he was on our show, after we had not only us, but he went on Savvy's show, JB's show. We all explained to him. And then after we gave our explanation on why it's ridiculous to call Joe Biden the lesser two evil, he always said the same thing. Oh man, I'm gonna pray on that, brother. I'm gonna pray on that one, brother. You made a good point.
Pray harder.
And then he leaves the show and doesn't learn a goddamn thing. He repeats the same thing that I utterly destroyed. So then there's a point where we came to the conclusion he's trying to turn us to a media arm. Like, bro, we're not gonna be like soft on you just because you come on our show. If you come on our show and you're obviously not learning anything and you're not advancing towards our positions, you're useless to our movement. And that just me because I care about this. I'm not an access journalist. And once they realized that wasn't working, he stopped coming on.
I think it's worse than that he is not useful to the movement. I think he's actively damaging the movement, period. That's just the way. I mean, that's just reality. I mean, if you're doing this kind of shit, you are actively damaging the movement. And it's, I don't know if Cornel West is controlled. I don't know if that's an accurate depiction of who he is. I don't know him. I don't know him well enough. I've not followed him close enough to be able to make that.
I would chime in with that. I don't think he's controlled. Like, fam,
if he's not, he sure does. He sure does play it pretty well. You know
yeah, you guys see how tough I'm being on him, but I wouldn't be 100% accurate on all my criticisms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't say for sure.
I feel like that's attacking his character. I think Dr. Cornel West is a great guy. Like that's,
I thought he was.
I'm friends with him. I think he's a good guy. I just think he's uncurious. He's too comfortable in his PNC position. These are the serious criticisms I have. I don't have to attack his character to make my point. You know what I mean? Whether you believe, if you think he's controlled, okay, that's your.
I don't know. I'm just saying,
that's fair enough. But I'm saying I don't have to go that route.
Even if he's not, the things that he's doing and the choices that he's making, it's the same thing, really, because he's holding those same positions. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and I don't know that he is. I thought he was a good guy. I defended him a little bit. I mean, obviously, I don't give a fuck about electoral politics, so I didn't care that he was running or whatever. But I was saying, listen, I like Cornel West. He's charming. He's charismatic. He's fun. He's interesting. He's cool. Like, I thought he was a good guy. This shit makes me question that hardcore. This tweet, I mean, it's been a series of red flags that have made me start to reevaluate whether or not, but I don't know though. I don't know. I'm not going to say, I haven't followed him closely enough to know whether or not he is controlled. But it's, this ain't it.